Don't want to forget.
No, there you go. I know. So I joined the program in 2020 during the heart of the pandemic. And in 5 months, I made $252,000 when I joined the program. But the best part of the program wasn't the money that I made. It was the community and being able to learn and mentor and train some badass coaches. And then in the process, I was able to learn a lot about myself and how I was negatively impacting my business without realizing it, thinking that, oh, I have experience. Oh, I know what it is. I've been 10 plus years in business. I know everything. And then you realize that that is like the worst thing in the world to say to yourself is, I know, I got this. I already know, or use experience as an excuse for not taking any action or knowledge, I should say, or information. So I learned from there, and I still have my franchises, but in that process, Rob Dial hired me. I'm one of his mentors for the elite program that they run. And and the coolest thing about being this mentor is I get to watch people like Jamie kick some ass. I get to see, and watch her journey along the way. But the best part about this whole process is watching people live their dream. I think that's kind of why I love doing this. And I'm slowly, as we were sharing, even as this started, like being able to be a part of my children's soccer games, baseball games is something so meaningful to me, because my dad worked 12, 13-hour days, and him working 12, 13-hour days just to put food on the table, because we grew up with nothing realistically. And to see myself watch people live their dream lives, and it was because of simply, them being able to take action in their lives and being able to being able to find out what was holding them back and being able to take action from that. And that's just my story right there. So I am here to just literally just give back, because you can't go broke giving, right, Jamie?
So true. Yeah. Thank you. That was such a beautiful introduction. And everything that you do for your community too has been so incredible just to witness. And like Ammar has been the go-to guy for so many people, and I've been able to witness this. And so we're just very happy to have you. And speaking of taking action here, we've got what, ladies, 14 people in this group, and you two are here live. So Sandy gets up at 4 a.m. her time to make our group calls on Thursdays. How incredible is that? And Erica, I don't think you've ever missed one. So I just want to applaud you ladies for being here.
So do I. And I'll tell you what, the big thing that Erica, and that is the difference between good and great right there, is the sacrifice to wake up at 4 a.m. when you could have easily watched the recording. You could have easily told yourself 50 different things, but you showed up. And I'm going to tell you right now, because you showed up, you're going to show up in other areas in life to get you to your goal. And I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for doing that, Erica, and Sandy as well, of course, even though it's not 4 a.m., but glad you're here.
Oh, Sandy's the 4 a.m.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Erica, what I said about Erica to you, Sandy, I apologize. But no, I'm really proud of you for doing that, showing up.
So beautiful. So Ammar, I would love I've heard you just drop crazy amounts of value bombs here. So to someone who's just walking this path through entrepreneurship, like, where would you recommend people start? Like, what does this beginning of the journey look like?
When you're in beginning journey, in what, coaching you're saying, or like,
yeah, so coaching, entrepreneurial space, like digital entrepreneurs, because I feel like so often, like with sales and finance, like what begins their journey down this path?
Oh, the number one thing now, like old Ammar would have said, Google, find out the answers, do your research. No, now it's you just hire a professional in that area is what I'm learning to do. Somebody who's an expert in that field is what I'm learning today. Like a lot of the setbacks in my life was myself trying to learn or do something because just ego. I mean, nothing else other than ego. And so yeah, that was what held me back. So for anybody who started, for you ladies to join a program like Jamie's, that is the best thing you can do. That is the smartest thing you can do, because number one, you have an amazing mentor right there. You're able to have a community of people that you can lean on to, and but you. Her genius zone. You leaned on somebody in their genius zone, and that is the number one advice: is that if you're going into coaching, You go to a coaching expert. You're going into, I don't even know what other field. I've been in the coaching field for so long. You're going into stocks. There's so many experts in that stock area. If there's something you want to learn about crypto, there's so many experts in that. Finance. Just stop. Just don't go to the smorgasbord class. I like to say the big full menu. You don't want the big full menu program. You want to just focus on that one area and do it really well, because you can't chase two rabbits at one time. So in the beginning, I could just tell you this right now, just focus on one thing and then go from there. But don't be scared to invest in yourself.
Yeah, no, that's so beautiful. And I think everybody has had at least a slight understanding of that, which is why they're here in this room, which is so incredible. And I just encourage everyone to just keep being a sponge and keep learning. And, you know, I would love to ask, as we're in this program, starting to bring in money, I feel something that I've done and been guilty of for so long was not really understanding, for example, different buckets where you could put your money, like understanding the financial aspects of the business and how to pay yourself. Like, could we go down that path for a little while and get some clarity on what they should be focusing on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So and I'll share a story about how terrible I was, where my start was when I made $23,000 my very first year as a business owner. And what I did with that $23,000 is splurged it. That's what I did. I splurged $23,000 and was like, I deserve this, Jamie. I deserve this because I left corporate America and I'm doing this on my own, and I spent X amount of dollars on this and that. So therefore, I deserve this money. And that could be so far from the truth. You do deserve it though. But what I did, the action that I took was not what was smart. So so right off the bat, Jamie, hello?
I could hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a static coming in right now.
Oh, weird. I don't hear it. Do you guys hear it? No?
Sorry, it's a headset.
Yeah, we don't hear anything like that.
All right. You hear me now?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, my
That's
headset just made some noise. So where was I? I was on a rant right there. Tell me.
Yeah, just kind of your history, where you were in the past. You had just made your first
The money, no, the story.
$23,000
Which part was I in the story
Yes.
before that I was telling you about? So so I splurged the money, $23,000 gone, right? But but what I didn't do was I was still working my dad's hours. I was still working 13 plus hours was I'm going to get you. So what I was laughing at before the sound came now was that I remember I literally took my girlfriend at the time to a really expensive restaurant, right? And it was $50, like at the time, because we didn't know what expensive was or anything. And that's why I was just laughing, because I can't wait to share that with her. I'm like, $50 was expensive now, and going out to eat with the kids is just something. But what I didn't do was invest that money in my business. That's where I was getting at. Like I took that money, and it's okay to pay yourself. So I'll give you the steps. So what I did was like now that, for example, you bring in $50,000, right? You need to know exactly what your personal budget is to survive. Like, it is so important. So if you're bringing in $50,000 a year right now, like, you need to know to the penny what your expenses are. Because if you don't know what your expenses are, it's good as you can make $20,000 or $100. It doesn't matter. Value of money doesn't matter if you don't know where it's going. And then therefore, how are you going to be able to know your worth if you don't even know where you stand with money? So to answer your question, Jamie, the number one thing that you do when you start making money is you invest it in your business. You bring somebody else, because one thing that I didn't do was give myself time off. You hire somebody part-time to take away like for me, it was weekends. I hired the weekend person. What is the weekend person in your business? Like that's the best question I want to ask you is, what is the weekend business in your business? So that's what you want to do. The stuff that really bugs you. Like for me, Ammar, the admin stuff really drives me crazy. So that's just not my strong suit. So that's what it is. And then you invest in your business. And then, so you invest in that part-time person while you're able to eat and pay the bills. But that's what I'm saying, eat and pay the bills. I'm not saying vacation. I'm not saying that. You got to sacrifice that, because the more people you bring into your business, then you bring a little bit more money. You bring in another person, because then you can focus your energy on your genius zone, which is bringing in the people and being able to show your value while they take care of the stuff that's holding you back essentially from bringing in the money.
Ammar, yes. And I feel like I see this happen all the time where many times, I mean, as you know, people start this business for freedom, but then what happens is they put on all these different hats that they actually don't like, and they feel like they've got to be the only one doing them for the next year, 5 years, 10 years down the road. And truthfully, like, you tell me, what does that prevent them from doing when they don't take those hats off that don't fit? What does it prevent them from?
Oh, what do you mean? As far as what? Takes the hats off?
Like, let's say they dislike admin, but they keep
Oh
doing it.
yeah,
They force
no, then
themselves to do it.
it's just
All the
they're
time.
gonna be in a shitty mood all day. They're gonna be in a terrible mood all day, and it's
Sure.
gonna reflect in your business. That's where it comes down to. It's like when I do payroll, for example, because there's sometimes I got to take responsibilities for the admin. I'm telling you, it's like afterwards, and my wife even knows the energy. Oh, you had the payroll stuff, because it's just so much work. It's not just plugging in the numbers, it's making sure the taxes get there. It's just a lot of stuff that for Ammar, at least, like it sucks the energy out of me, Jamie. That's I guess that's what I thought the answer that you wanted to, but I just wanted to be clear.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Yes.
Out of me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we've got that first tip, which that's incredible. So just make sure that you truly understand your expenses. Now, do you have a specific like software recommendation or way that someone should go about tracking their finances?
The easiest way, like I say, like I guess program free, is use one credit card. Like use that one credit card. And I explained this to Jamie the other day. If you get an actual like credit card and you can, like American Express, for example, it itemizes everything for you. Everything, like to the penny. Once again, this is for travel. This is for for entertainment. This is for business, whatever it is. But I would say get one credit card for that. Like, or then if you got like employees in business, get QuickBooks, enter in all your expenses in there, and you'll be able to tabulate everything, and then But like, I'll say it again and over till I'm blue in the face. Know what you're paying out, because then you're going to realize what you need to bring in.
And you have probably a lot across the board, because you're doing a bunch of different things, right? With the coaching, with the franchises. So you definitely have to be organized in terms of finances. So you guys, yeah, definitely take this advice, because.
And I wasn't, Jamie, and that's the issue.
Really?
Like I wasn't organized. I was a hot mess, and I was so stubborn. I was so stubborn to ask for help. I was so stubborn to go pay for, somebody's services, because I used my knowledge. Like, why am I not smart enough? I'm smart enough. I can learn, and then it backfired. So, as I said, put my ego on the side and be able to just learn from my mistakes, and from people who've done this and succeeded.
So what was the shift for you then? So it went from being a hot mess, you started tracking everything, knowing where your expenses went. Like, what was on the other side of that? What shifted?
But the shift for me was realizing that I was bringing in more money, and that's why I made that comment earlier. I was bringing in more money, but I was still saving the same amount. And that's when I was just like, okay, I'm doing this all wrong. And then being a finance major itself, I went back to my textbooks, and at the same time hired a financial advisor at the time, and went back over there. And then fortunately, a lot of the lingo came back, and then I was able to be fluent and be like, yeah, like this is what I went to school for. And still a good friend of mine that till this day that we keep in contact with. But yeah, that was what it was, where I finally made 6 figures and I had nothing to show for it, Jamie.
Wow. So it's very important to keep track.
Oh yeah.
And oof. Oh, all right. And now, do you want to open this up to everyone who's here as like a Q&A, kind of popcorn Q&A session, or would you like to share anything else that you feel called?
No, I think it's about them. So I would love questions, whatever it is that you feel that you're struggling in, that you want to share, or anything that maybe that you related to my story. I'll be, yeah, whatever holds the vote.
Okay. And do you want to share any specific topics that might help them come up with questions that you would like to speak on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fluent in, as I said, finance and P&L, but I'm also with the hiring. There's a saying I always say is like, hire slow, fire fast. Whoever's holding your business back, just just cut the throat, just head off.
I'm
That's
all
it.
too familiar with that right now,
So,
unfortunately.
but it's running a business and or maybe sales and objections. Like as Jamie know, I teach
Okay.
I teach a class for Rob Dial on how to sell and close and enrollment calls and stuff. So I'm very confident with objections and how to work with that. And if you have any questions related to possibly closing a client, please, like whatever it is that you feel that in your business is holding you back, or something that you feel that you need clarity on, please, by all means, ask away.
All right. Who's kicking this thing off? Who's got a question? Anything? All right, Sandy, you're up.
Hey, Sandy.
Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
There you are.
Hey, she is.
Hey, so for me, I'm not quite evolving as yet, but I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to produce a scrapbooking paper line. I have no graphic design. I don't know anything about it. So am I better to hire somebody to share my ideas with to get the ball rolling?
So you're asking me, who do you need to share the idea? I'm sorry.
Should I hire a graphic designer to produce and design my idea of a paper line?
Absolutely. If you feel, that's a great question. Now, number one is, can you afford it?
I'm not working right now, so I'm studying. So probably not right now.
Okay. How important is this process for you in your business? That's what I want you to ask yourself. Let's take it back. Do I need this right now in order to bring money into my business?
Yes.
Then that is called an investment, and that's good debt, and that's okay.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Of course. Great question.
Anybody else have anything burning?
Yeah.
Erica, Leanne's jumping in.
Leanne.
Hi, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.
I think for me, and it's just I hope this is an area that you could speak on, is being able to really sell myself. Like, I know, like, if I get into a conversation with somebody like this, and Jamie knows this about me, I end up becoming friends more than I do their coach. So like having that fine line of being able to sell myself I just got off a call with somebody to make a connection, and genuinely, but I saw that there was an opportunity for me to offer coaching to her. And she's like, well, I got a business coach, and she's got a couple of coaches already. And it's like, I kind of go to this place where, okay, I guess there's no room for me. And it's happened to me a few times. Like, I have an energy coach and I have this coach, and I'm like, okay. So what do you think there?
Great. Oh, great question. It's, and there's a saying, be friendly, but not friends, because there's 3 reasons why people won't buy. And I say this all the time to the coaches that I coach, and it's, people don't buy because they don't see your value, they don't trust you, and they're scared. So Leanne, it sounds to me that they're building that trust with you very quickly, which is the hardest thing to do. That's a great quality to have. But there's also that boundary as well. And it's that boundary because you're obviously, you're making them feel safe in that space that you're giving them. So they're able to open up to you and be like your friend and talk to you that way. But it's also, though, you got to also set, like, if they're able to do that, then you need to set your boundary of like, okay, I am Leanne, the what coach? What coach are you? What type of coach are you?
I'm a life coach.
Okay, you are a life coach, and you are getting on this call with them because you are going to change their life. They need you more than you need them. So you're building the trust with them, obviously. And the way that you're building the trust with them is the value. So then I'm going to ask you all, the way that you build value in your business and in your in life or in anything is by asking the tough questions. Even in marriage, like, ask those tough questions. So when Leanne, when you're asking those tough questions, for example, it's more about digging deep with them. So that's where they're going to know you're serious and you're going to go that line. And now, like, where are you? Because I want to make sure I'm not jumping the gun. Where are you in this process when you're being friendly or anything like that?
I'm sorry, could you just clarify a little bit better for me? Where am I in the process?
Like, where are you getting these clients? Like these people who are these people, I guess, that are
They're like cold outreach, they're the regular outreach strategy.
Perfect. Okay.
Or I even have my friends now. I mean, it could go either way. I have the people that have known me pre-life coach life, and now they're like, Leanne's a life coach. Interesting. Like, and they can't transition to, but even I can't even waste energy on that. That's on them. But I'm talking about like even the cold initial people that I'm trying to make connections with. And they're like, oh, they're great, but they don't want to take that. You're great, but they don't want to take that plunge with me.
Okay. So that's okay. So the ones that are, you're great, but they don't want to take the plunge with you, that's their loss. That's this is them holding back. You cannot control their decision, but the only thing that you can control is what you're bringing to the table, what you're asking. So for somebody like you, like if you get them on either a call or even on the outreach, you're not selling anything. You don't coach on the outreach. You don't sell on the outreach, right? You go out there. How's your day going? You connect for there, and then what I like to use is that if I would you, meaning that if I hey Jamie, if I would carve out some time this afternoon, would you be able to hop on a call with me today?
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. If I would you, because I will make the sacrifice if you make the sacrifice.
And I do that. Thank you. Because Jamie and I talk a lot about that, and she's great at giving that coaching. So I don't want to, she's doing her part. Where I'm missing it though, is I do that and I get them on the call. And then that's when like we dig a little bit deeper and they have the coaches already, or they have like everybody that I'm connecting with. I'm like a day late and $1 short. They've already got their coaches.
Got it. Okay. I see that. So if you're getting them on a call, they're not happy with their coach, just to let you know, or they're shopping around.
Or they could use a specific life coach, because you mentioned like they'd have a business coach or an energy coach, but they don't have Leanne yet.
Good point. No, she's right. She's right on the money.
So I feel like what I'm hearing Leanne say, and Ammar, like from another set of eyes, I'm hearing her say she's getting on the phone and she's hearing, I've got a business coach, I've got an energy coach, I've got a yoga coach. And Leanne is shutting down, backing away, feeling like she's not needed at that time.
And I think that's a great observation, Jamie, because I think that is happening for me. Maybe that's something I need to journal through. It's a blockage that I'm shutting down because I think there's no room for me. That probably goes way back to childhood.
That's huge.
No, it is huge. I was just going to say that. I'm like, wow, like we just witnessed a breakthrough right here. No, this is awesome. But the thing too, though, Leanne, is that when even like for like myself, right? If I'm going to take time to hop on a call with you, I'm just thinking about that. I have some interest in what you're offering. Now, your goal is not to sell me anything. Your goal is to ask the questions. And Jamie knows these questions, but I tell her, she helps me on my calls and she can run a damn call. Like she's so good, but the questions you got to ask is if they say, hey, I'm a life coach. You're a life coach. And then they share something like, I'm depressed. Tell me, thank you so much for sharing, Jamie. I know that was tough for you to say. Tell me more about that depression. Wow. Anxiety as well. Thank you again. Tell me a little bit more about that anxiety and where, in what areas in life does that impact you? Just getting that, peeling that onion. That's the difference between you, Leanne, and me as a life coach. Like, it's just, you're digging in, you're showing that you care. That's the difference. Jamie's, I can tell you, I know this, you haven't even said this to me, but I guarantee you people have shared stuff with you that they probably didn't share to their spouse or their parents and stuff. It's because there's that trust. I said it from the beginning. Value, trust, and fear. The way you build the value is by asking the tough questions. And then by asking the tough questions, you make them trust you. They lower their guard down, and then they're less scared, and then they will buy. It's not money. They will find a way. Right now, if I told any of you ladies, I need $100,000 right now, or I will kill your family, and I had them hostage, you will find a way to get $100,000. Now, is it that extreme? Of course not. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's that important to you and they're saying that their life depends on this, then that's kind of that's the way I'm coming into this. Like, I can save your life right here, but you have to make the decision if you want your life saved. And that's kind of the way I would approach it.
Thank you. It's not anything Jamie hasn't said to me before, but it's so thank you for speaking into that. I really appreciate that.
Of course. No, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks.
They need that. They need you more than you need them. I promise you. So show up. I promise.
And I feel like one angle of this that I would love to like dive into, especially with this situation and getting onto calls where you're kind of looking at if it could be a collaboration, like what exactly it's going to be. I think it's really important right away, right, Ammar, to like take control of it. And you guide it by asking questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Set the boundaries. There's 6 steps in a call. I always say that there's 6 steps in an enrollment call. It's the introduction. You know, when I say the introduction, it's just like, hey, how are you doing? Like everything, just the back and forth, you know, get to know each other, right? So it's an introduction. And then there's the frame. Then you set the frame and be like, and then you just let them know, hey, I just want to let you know that this is a conversation to make sure that you and I are good fits for each other. I want to just kind of hear what it is. Like, Jamie, what is your opening? Just to hear what is yours, so she can do it up there. Because I hear so many different ones, so I want to know which one.
Introduction for which part?
No, the frame, just the frame. The frame,
yeah.
Frame a call.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to be respectful of your time. So to do that, what I found works best is that we take a really good look at what you're doing right now. Let's just see what's working and what's not working. From there, most importantly, let's paint the picture of where you're truly looking to go. And no matter what happens, you're going to walk away from this call with clarity, action steps for moving forward. And if I can bridge that gap in any way, shape, or form, we can drop into that conversation at that time. And by the way, is it okay if I record this call? Because I like to refer back to them just for like personal training purposes. How does that sound?
I think you've practiced once or twice before for that, haven't you?
Yes.
That was badass. And
but then what I found is so important though, is the first question that I ask them. Cause like, oh my God. And Ammar, you know this, it's like, if you ask the wrong question to begin, you're going to spend the next 45 minutes listening to like just rabbit hole. And so I feel like the very first question is so important.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Taking that control.
It sets the tempo and you take control. And it also sets the tempo for trust as well. Yeah. It's like, okay, here's the question right here, but it's not, you know what they always say, it's the response. And for them to like, for you, Leanne, to be able to be like, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. And then being there empathetically for them when they just opened up to you, everybody wants a hug. I don't care how tough you are, whatever it is, everybody needs that emotional hug. And that's what you're doing for them. You're giving them that emotional hug and that emotional safe space. So frame the call. This time I did remember that. I got to frame the call, which was Jamie just did perfectly. And then I always say, find the hell. There's a reason why, if you're a life coach, their life is not going this way. Find what's not working for them. The hell, the worst parts of their life, and why are they in their hell? And then, so that's step 3. And then you do bridge to heaven. Hey, let's switch gears. 6 months from now, I want to hear Jamie's. That's why I like to hear Jamie's pitches. I mean, I just like to say it, but hey, it just knows that Jamie says it so much more nicer than I do.
Ammar, we've never done an enrollment call together.
Shut up, really?
Never.
Oh, I thought we did.
Great.
Like, now, oh my God. But I'm hearing you do it. I mean, hey, that's why I'm kind of testing her too. Be like, hey, did she do her homework or not?
Oh my God. I feel like I need to like pull it up.
Get your notes.
No. I want to get my notes real quick.
That's great. No, but to the bridge to hell, I like to use is to heaven is, hey, let's switch gears.
Yeah.
Let's just say 6 months from now, Leanne, we are envisioning, and because they'll share the hell. You are no longer A, B, C, D. What does that look to you right now, 6 months from now, that you don't have any of these issues? And then all of a sudden, they're just like, you can see the energy, you can see the emotion, and you acknowledge that and say, hey, thank you so much, Ammar, for, I just want to let you know, I saw you glow. I saw you light up. Like, you acknowledge. And then then after that, you qualify. Do you teach them how to qualify as well, Jamie, or no?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
qualify.
Leanne qualifies.
Yeah. And that's the best for me too. That also sets the authority. That is my favorite part, because if you think you've lost them in some way, this is the best time to regain them in the qualifying. Hey, Leanne, I just want to just let you know that I'm going to ask you these 3 questions because I don't disrupt with anybody. So these 3 questions are very important because this is going to allow you to move forward. What are your qualifying questions, Jamie? Just so maybe Leanne can steal them.
And I believe I've shared them with you.
Decisive, what are they?
It's comfort zone, really
Comfort zone,
taking action, which is huge.
That's my favorite last one, is taking action. But
yeah, absolutely. So taking action and just really showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So decisive is a good one too. I kind of switch them up just based on what I feel like they might struggle with or maybe not be able to show up as, right? Like if I'm worried someone's not going to be a certain way, I make sure right there I just call it out.
Correct.
So mine's really shifts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. She's right. She's a great point too. Like you can feel out the conversation. So you'll feel it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leanne.
No, I was just going to say, yeah. I mean, Jamie's been pretty forthcoming with what she does. And I think one of the things that's coming through for me right now too, that I have to, and I'm sorry if I'm monopolizing your time, Sandy.
No, you're fine.
Hopefully, Sandy, this helps you as well. I don't know, but is, as I'm sitting here listening and hearing all these fantastic stuff that Jamie's obviously already coached me through, because I am a one-on-one client with Jamie, thankfully,
awesome.
Is I have to figure out why I feel like they're always waiting for I'm always going into it going, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop for the sales pitch, I don't know why I get hung up on that.
Okay. Can I ask you a question or two to maybe we can dig into it, if that's okay with you?
Of course, please ask away.
So in one time in your life, do you feel that you've been kind of ripped off or ripped off, or a bad sales experience that's kind of where you can just think about it right off of that?
Timeshares.
There you go.
I can't stand those people. Come stay for the weekend.
Stop for a second. Did you see how quick she remembered that?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Guess what? The clients don't know shit about your timeshare experience, just to let you know. You're not the timeshare experience.
I am not. That they can't get off the phone. You can't leave
that
room.
Her energy. Did I miss something maybe, or did you see the way she reacted?
Yeah, I did.
No, I had a physical change in my body.
No, I saw the change. That's why I just wanted to acknowledge, hey, I'm not the voodoo here, but I just saw a shitload of energy right there. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question. That came a lot quicker than I had to. I didn't even. So that was easy.
Probably because I just got off the call, and
there you go.
It was so recent that I'm like, it was a great conversation and it was started as a collaborative, but there was opportunity there for me to step in as a coach and encourage her to be part of my community. And maybe that's a perspective I need to go to instead of selling her package, come be part of my, people say tribe or my community. And I just totally let it go.
Well, give me an example though. What's the example, if you don't mind? What is an
so we were talking and she's a coach and she's a military. I mean, we have so many things in common. And I just gravitated to her page naturally. And she said, oh my gosh, I felt the same way too. And we had a Zoom, and I mean, our names are almost the same too. And it was just a lot of similarities, but she's a mom of a 4-year-old, of a very confident child. I've already raised a very confident child who's 19, and I already see the struggles she's going to have with her, not struggles, but the challenges that are going to come with having that kind of child. And just even as a coach, I literally asked her, what are your struggles? I'm trying to make content and figure out. And she's like, well, my outside world is pretty chaotic, she's a life coach. And she's like, like there's clutter, and clutter like drives me crazy. And I said, well, what's that do for you? Like internally, what does that do for you? And she started going there a little bit. And then I was like, well, and Jamie knows this about me. I went right to coach mode, and I was like, well, why don't you just offer yourself grace and like do great? And she's a resilience coach. And I'm like, but that's part of resilience coach, right? It's just getting through if there's a step to resilience. It doesn't just show up as a resilience coach. You have to offer grace and feel what you need to feel. And I'm like, you friggin' idiot. Like,
But you know, though, no, you're not an idiot, because you got actual, you know where you fucked up. You know where you messed up. Like, you know that. And that's all you can get out of it. But if you do it a second time, and then yeah.
Oh no, I've done it. Like Jamie will tell you, this
Okay.
is my like fourth or fifth
Okay,
time.
so
Like,
I have an exercise for you then. This is good. This is okay. As I said, this is what I do. So this is great. Like, so okay. So what it is that they get into a point where you ask them a question and then they kind of open up, right? They open
yeah,
up.
the trust.
And then you do the trust. And as soon as they showcase the trust, they show the trust, you now get into like, okay, let's fix.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
This is me.
let's fix. So forget about them for a second. Why do you have to fix everything?
Well, I mean, let's be honest, right? It feels good when people walk away from the call and they feel better. They feel, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
mean,
Absolutely. But where other areas in your life, Leanne, do you feel like you have to be, and please, I don't know you. I didn't get a scouting report of anybody. I'm just going right in here. So please excuse me with what I'm going to say. But no, I was just going to say flat out. Are you somebody that likes to be in control? Yes or
I
no?
am.
Yes
Well,
or no?
it's an area I'm working on.
Okay. Could you say control issues has been an issue in your life?
Correct. It has been an issue in the past. Yes.
Perfect.
I'm more comfortable with that answer. In
I
full transparency.
No, it's great. No, that's awesome. Thank you. I want clarity. I love clarity.
Sandy is getting
Great.
a kick out of this whole thing.
I know. She's just like, this is great. She's eating popcorn. I love it.
Who needs Netflix?
I know, right? We don't need any of that. So here you are, working on that because of somewhere in your life, you felt like you needed to take control, like be in control of certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get into a sensitive issue, like something like you've struck a nerve in them. You did your job as asking the questions, and then they showed emotion and you went and coddled.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what you did. Am I
Mm-hmm.
wrong or no? So,
Oh no, 100%.
so
Yeah.
that's just the image that I'm looking at. And that's because you're an amazing human being. There's nothing wrong with you doing that because of being a human being. But where you're going to draw
Mhm.
that line, if you want to do a career out of this, is that you don't coddle, because what does coddling do in life?
There's no real growth. I mean, you're sheltering them. You're holding them back. Yeah.
Putting a Band-Aid is all you're doing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not going to even
Yeah.
use the word holding back. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it, and you're
Yeah.
doing what everybody else in their life is doing. What
Mhm.
makes you're just no different than everybody else. They're looking for
Mm.
change in their life, and what you're doing is you're doing a disservice to yourself by giving them what the little bit that they need. Because I can tell you, I'm a confident person and I talk myself out of good shit all the time. So it's crazy. I do. Like I share a story about the mentor program that Jamie and I were part of, but I was going to call and get a refund from it. I just did a good job of talking myself out of it. So where I think that relates to your story is that when you give somebody just a little bit of coaching, they have a justification about, I don't need this anymore. I got it. I got that little validation, that justification. So does that make any sense to you first off?
Oh, 100. Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, yeah, totally. So what I need to do, I mean, I love that you said, like, Leanne, I mean, those are things that really resonate with me when you say, like, you're doing them a disservice. Like you're putting a Band-Aid on it. Like those are things that are going to speak to my soul and really like come back up when that moment arises. I just need to learn to when they share their struggles, and that trust is now formed to say, you know, what Jamie's taught me is like, you know, just keep listening. And at the end say, you know what if I could help you with that? Like, what if I could help you walk through these challenges with your daughter? You know, because she's such a confident child at 4 years old, and you got a while, you know, you still got so many other things that are going to be coming, or that your chaos in your house is speaking to your soul. You know, what if I can help you with that? So maybe that's where I would go with that, instead of offering free advice.
I would not even give any, just be there for them. Just be there for them.
And I thought being there with them is like doing what I was doing, but you're saying that's not being there.
Being for them is being the coach, them hiring you as a coach as your job. But once
right, but I'm saying, so like through Jamie's script, that's how I get there.
yes, a million.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know if Jamie's script talks about as far as the questions and the listening and anything like that, because even Rob doesn't have that on his script. So like, I'm not sure if Jamie's.
Oh no,
Yeah.
she does. I mean, Jamie.
Oh, this is, yeah, I know Jamie's very.
Oh, you cut out.
Listen
I'm sorry.
intently to listen to those words, and then use that word back to kind of dig deeper. I mean, we've been together 5 months. She spent a lot of time, and I'm still like,
no, I love it. And Jamie's
I'm stuck in a mud. I feel
Jamie.
so bad for her, because I'm
No.
like, I'm just not getting it.
Well, it's not Jamie, but the thing is that you're stuck in the mud. You are
right.
You are, but the thing is, when you're stuck in the mud, and I'll say it again, since it resonated with you, you are not living to your full potential and just serving so many amazing people that need you.
Yeah.
But you being a great human being are not respecting your boundary on this coaching line. So you have to have that line. So what I'm going to say to do, and I'm not sure if Jamie shared this, but this is what I do because I have habits where I can sometimes talk a lot during the conversation. So I was working on that and whatever, but like I come up with a SOS plan. Like, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to coach. Oh my God, I feel like I'm about to do something that I shouldn't be doing. Oh my God, I'm about to have anger. I'm about to lash out on my spouse. Oh my, like, where you know that SOS plan, where you feel like you're about to coach, right? You need to call it something and be like, okay, it's here. It's here. I want to coach. I want to help them there, but I am disservicing them. I am not going to serve them to their highest potential by doing so. So let me just keep on listening. That's it. Just call it out. Acknowledge it. It's going to come. You're going to want to do it. So just call it out. SOS, here it is. That's it. It's just call it what it is, and then be like, okay, SOS, all right, now, and just have it. It's going to happen. That's what you do. Jamie's teaching you the best way. She's best, hands-on, one of the best coaches in the program. Like,
and I feel like, and I'm getting kind of frustrated because she's doing it. I mean, it's, and I can't sing her praises enough, because I feel like when it comes to outreach and enrollment calls, she really knows what she's doing.
Oh yeah.
I am not, and I feel like I'm wasting time, because it's a regular conversation with us. And, you know, you can bring I love analogies, so I apologize, you know, bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that's what I feel like. And it's like, Leanne, what is holding you back from doing this, for Pete's sakes?
But let's get to it now. Like, and I mean, if you don't mind, I can go in a little bit deeper if you're okay with that or not.
Always.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Jersey. I'm an open book. I'm
from Brooklyn. Maybe that's why.
My mom is from the Bronx. I know. I could tell from your mannerisms. It's fine.
My hands.
Yeah.
So with you now, with like, you know, you want to give that coddle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then let's dig it deep. Was there a time in your life where you felt the need to either stop a conversation from continuing, or held you back, or, you know what, like maybe shot, like, or something along the lines where you just have to go in and kind of be that savior, be that, or need that hug in that situation? Is there somewhere in your life?
Everywhere in my life. I mean, as a mom, as a, caring for my aging parents, as a military spouse, like this is what I do. I keep everything functioning, like this is just what I do.
Okay. And that's
And
amazing.
it's like your greatest gift, but it's obviously also my place that it's my flaw or whatever, that's like making my business suffer because
I think you're about your business right now. It's making you suffer. That's what I see. Yeah.
Well, I'm suffering.
And I'm gonna do something that I want you to do in your thing. I'm gonna ask you, do I have permission to ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you do an awkward laugh every time I ask you a tough question?
Oh my God. Because it's uncomfortable.
There we go. And it's okay. And thank you for being honest. That's what you got to bring to the coaching table right there. You just met me today. And I'm sorry if I'm coming across as a douchebag. I'm not trying to be.
I was raised by people like you. You're not.
Ammar's a big teddy bear. Don't get it twisted.
Thank you, Jamie. Always at my back. So, but where I'm getting at, so you're obviously uncomfortable to talk about layers of it. So when people start doing, what do? You want to fix them because you can't even get deep with yourself. So what makes you think you don't even want them to get deep? You want to help them right away. Instead of asking and digging in, the reason why you haven't listened to Jamie is because you don't want to listen. You don't want to dig into yourself. That's why. You don't know that though, but that's just that's just subconscious. How does that land on you?
Oof.
That sounds great. I'm going to have to tell my coach to keep digging deeper. No, I mean, I'm a big believer that there's no coincidence of you are where you need to be at the right time. And this is actually one of the things that I was really processing through in my silent practice this morning was, like, why am I stuck? Like, I'm always looking for, okay, is that the right content? Like, is that the right message? But I think that I'm looking at it, such what I'm hearing and feeling and coming through right now is I'm thinking it's at a surface level when it's really the whole message I want with my clients is it's within you. And I just have to do that for myself. So 100%. And I'm not going to do a nervous laugh.
Yes.
You got something.
Don't even try and make me laugh because I'm done laughing with you.
No, but you want to what though? But that's what you're going to do in your coaching calls too. Is like, hey, you know what, Leanne? How come every time I ask you a question about this, you deflected?
That's amazing. I love that. I really.
And that's why I was asking, did I ask it in a aggressive way when I asked you, hey, do I have permission? Or was it a genuine way?
No, and I can use that. I do have I have a client, I haven't said it like that, but it's the same thing. Is when I ask her tough questions, she totally deflects it to her partner. And I'm like, I'm not asking about that. Like, so I like the way that you say that to say, can I ask you a question? And kind of like stop them in their tracks. It stops them right there. So, wow, big stuff. I would do, what I really want to do? I want to do the like Jamie does, like, because that's what I'm feeling. Like, it's like, holy schmackerels. Like that was good stuff. So thank you. And I apologize for taking up so much time, Jamie, but yeah.
It helped.
You said, hey, things happen. You were meant to be here. And you came here and I'm just proud of you for opening up and trusting in me in this container that you just shared. That was pretty badass. You should be proud of yourself.
Oh yeah. I wrote a lot of things. I have a lot to, and this is recorded, right, Jamie?
Yes.
So I can definitely go back and take some clearer notes, but yeah, good stuff. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you.
Sir, shit, you just fucked up right there. Sir.
And you know what?
You got to set your people straight here, Jamie. I mean.
Oh my God. So one other thing that kind of came up for me watching this, Ammar, I feel like this is going to go in the portal for them. And I'm going to use this as like a great example of watching someone else coach. So thank you for that. And Leanne, I would really love for you to journal through, like, why do you feel like they can't get enough value from you just with the call as it is? Because I had someone today that I met with about 2 months ago. And she said, hey, I didn't know if I could reach out to you or not, but I just wanted to let you know after that call, a few different things that have shifted. She quit her job and started a new one. She stopped Ubering at night. Her and her boyfriend are doing better than they have in years. And I get this random message from someone who I didn't think like, well, she didn't become a client, so I must not have helped her. No, and I didn't coach on that call. But I remember there were tears. She was like, just feeling from her heart. And so Leanne, just take a few moments after we get off here and just really reflect on that, because the call alone, just someone asking them questions and caring about them is plenty. Okay. So
And I want to add
yes.
something that's very powerful. Um, be there, be the void that you needed, that they need right now.
Yeah, I love that.
That's what you are. Be what you need. Be that missing link, that emptiness that they need in their life, because that's who you are. And then when you felt that need where you needed somebody, remember, you're giving them that opportunity to fill that void. You don't have to distract them anymore. You don't have to fix them right away. That's just the one thing I had to add to that, Jamie, as you were going.
Yeah, it's
Just want
beautiful.
you to remember that. Like,
That's so beautiful. And now we have a few more minutes left. And Sandy said something
I
that
wanted to ask
continues to be
Sandy.
playing.
Oh, what did she say? I wanted
Well,
to ask Sandy, like her seat in the back, like what was her thing? I just wanted to kind of get insight.
I would love, Ammar, I want you to hear what I caught her say earlier, and maybe you could speak into her. So she said, I've been learning. I'm learning. And she's been a part of this program for a long time. And she's expressed interest to me of what she wants to do. So at what point do you need to shift from the learning to the doing, from the watching to the taking action? I would love for you to just, you take over, but I wanted to let you catch that. She said that.
You said that. Okay.
I obviously did. Yes.
So lean into that then. Tell us about that. What are you interested in learning?
I'm actually studying to be accounting, admin, and payroll, because I've been in hospo for many, many years, and I decided that this year I am going to change. I'm going to take control, live a better life, take risks, which I don't do. I'm like, nope, can't do it, but I have. So my thing is I'm learning about business. I've got business ideas. I want to be a social media virtual assistant person because I love the internet. I can do programs. I can learn them myself. I taught the computer myself many years ago when my kids were little. So I'm still, as Jamie said, in the learning phase. I'm not really sure whether to take the next step.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. First off, I want to give you a lot of recognition for being able to take the risks that you have. You being, as you said, a mom back in the day, learning the internet, being able to understand that, because I just joke around and be like, I don't even know how to keep up with the kids these days, but it's, I can't keep up with the technology. And for you to just keep on learning and doing what you're doing is amazing. So
Thank you.
Have to commend you for that. But there's a term that I like to use, and it's called infobesity. And it's like, how much more information are you going to need before you take action?
Yeah. I guess it's another risk that I have to take and just take a big leap and go, okay, we're done. Let's move on.
Okay. So that's fair. Okay. So let's have a date. What's the date that we're going to do this then?
What are we now? Early April. So
we're going to be specific now. We're going to, because with the goal
well,
is to be specific.
I'm just trying to think. My sister's birthday.
I'm sorry I called you out. If you don't learn from me, Anne, that's why. What's her name? Erica just kind of was like, oh, I'm wow. She goes, I'm not going to be part of this.
I'm gonna say the end of May. Just
okay.
give me some time.
So I'm going to say May 31st or sooner. Is that safe to
Okay.
say? Hey,
Yeah.
Jamie, can you write that down for me, please? And then send me her info.
Oh, you betcha.
And send me her info.
I'm
And
putting
then,
it in my calendar.
oh, that's
Fantastic.
okay. And
Yeah.
I would love, because you're obviously a member of Jamie's team, I would be more than happy to look it over for you and give you my 2 cents and make sure that you feel more confident going into your day. I would be more than happy.
Okay, well, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
Of course, my pleasure.
You're welcome.
So
That was, I mean, she's got her date. That's it. That's it. I mean, we're not gonna give you no rah-rah. She's got the she's just like, oh yeah, you got the date for May 31st.
simple as that.
So, and I wanted to ask Sandy quickly, because I know we're about to like whatever. What was your take on that whole situation early, witnessing the coaching with Leanne?
It was really good. I haven't gone that far with the program yet. I'm thinking about doing some life coaching. I'm still kind of on the fence. I'm gravitating towards it because I know from my own experience that I know I can help people. I am 53. I've got adult kids. I've got a grandchild. So for people like me that have had baggage and they've kept it with them for many, many years, and it wasn't until I got with Jamie and realized that that was what was keeping me from moving forward. So I need to think about what I can do for other people like me that don't like to share and keep stuff inside. But you don't realize how much it holds you back from being the better person that you can be, the confident person that you can be, which is what I took this program on because I had no confidence. I hated confrontation. I would back down all the time. I would shut down all the time. So I need to find where I could use the life coach for somebody like me.
Well, fortunately, you know the best in the game right there with Jamie Coleman, who is one of the best life coaches and coaches in the business that I know. And I've seen literally 800, 900 people in that community. And she's, if not the best, one of the best one out there. I tell you that.
First, yeah, I agree.
So you got her right there.
Exactly.
It's interesting, right, Ammar? It's like no matter what kind of coach you are, it's all mindset coaching.
Oh yeah, like
no matter what.
It's great. I'm a business coach, and what I did with you, Leanne, just to let you know, is like what I do in the situations with them, like, but what they bring up, and it's like whatever's resisting, because our mentor, Jamie, and we have a mentor named Dean, and he says this all the time: the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And when he first said that, I was like, that's such bullshit. And then I started realizing, okay, why am I saying it's bullshit? Like, now I'm starting to like dig in deep myself. Like, why, when I say something's bullshit, let me dig in and see if it really is bullshit. And I realized he was right on the damn money with that quote. So if you're not going to like make your bed in the morning, for example, because you know it's going to be annoying, it's going to do that. Like, where other areas are you not finishing a task? It's like something like that. Like, emptying the dishwasher, you only empty half of it. Hey, there's a good chance you're probably not finishing any other areas in your life. So, that if you can just say like the way I do one thing is the way I do everything, I feel like if you realize that and see that, and you're going to end up tightening the screws in your life, is like what I like to say.
Thank you so much. Well, Ammar, and I know I don't want to take any more of your time. You have just poured so much value out for us. And I'm so thankful for you ladies for being here live. That is like what it is all about. You guys, we were able to witness a really badass coaching session right there. So just thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you know what? Their loss was totally our gain, right, Sandy?
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what you felt. Yeah. And I thank you. No, I thank you, Leanne, for allowing yourself to open up and, as I said, be your true authentic self. And you were badass. So I'm proud of you for doing that. And how do you feel right now?
Who, me?
I'm looking at you like you can see what I'm looking at. I'm like, yeah, you.
You're looking at 3 other people.
I know.
I think I feel good because I definitely see this is the place I need to go. I need to go deeper
Get
with
it.
myself. I need
Get
to,
it.
I kind of want to find people that will challenge me there to go deeper with myself, like you just did. You know what I mean? Like I come to a lot of realizations myself, which is great. But I think it's true from the East Coast, like being on the West Coast, they don't really ask you these uncomfortable questions, like, and you're in the finance industry. I have, a degree in accounting. So I know like business people want the tough questions,
Yeah.
right? They want like, no, ask me tough questions. You can't really be soft.
Mhm.
You're either, you don't ask them and you avoid it, or you ask it. I was in corporate world for a long time. But with life coaching, and they're not really there for, it is all mindset, correct, Jamie? But they're not really there to, you have to be more delicate with the tough questions. Like not everybody's going to, react the way I did with you. They're going to be like, whoa, that's a little much. Like we laugh, but there are people that's a little much, but I love it. Like I need more. I miss that part of the East Coast. I want people to challenge me, and I need that so I can be a better coach.
And you got to do that to your people. You got to do that to your client. You got to do that.
And I did that this last week. And the first time I did it to my client, she stopped coaching with me, but she came back. She did come back. And I did that to her the other day. And she was like, I said, I know this is not easy. And I see the growth in you, and you can handle this. Like you're doing great, but you got it. She's doing great, but it's not everybody likes it.
And they're not for you.
I know. I got to be comfortable being gritty. Like I like the East Coast gritty, like real deal. I'm getting soft being here on the East Coast or the West Coast. I'm getting soft.
Soft.
I gotta go visit my friends in Jersey. I'm getting too soft here.
I always say that. Don't go by my friends when I go over there. I just say, you know what? I just gotta slap myself in the face a few times, and I become tough again. I just gotta know. I know my roots.
Or I'll go talk to my mom from the Bronx who's outside. And
That's
say,
it. Why don't you just go out? Yeah. Why don't you just go walk around the Bronx at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Okay, and then see how tough you are.
I've done that, and they thought I was an undercover cop. They're like, no, actually, I did it in Harlem. And they were telling my friends, he was like, did you just bring an undercover cop here? And they're like, why would I do that? She's just Leanne.
It's actually beautiful right now, the Bronx. The Bronx is a beautiful, beautiful place right now. It's not the way it was back in the day. It's beautiful. New York City's just changed. That's why.
Well, I'll tell my mom that because she was there in the 60s.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
and
then she moved to Teaneck, New Jersey.
Jamie's get some stories about Bronx in the 60s.
She liked it. She loved it back in the 50s and, late 50s, 60s. But then she went back in like the 90s, and so I'll tell her that it's pretty again. She'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah, no, it is. I promise.
Yeah. So thank you so much. No, I definitely
you.
have a lot of journaling to do. I'm going to get off and WhatsApp Jamie, and
Perfect.
And then hopefully
you can reach out. Reach out if you have any questions at all. Reach out to me if you want. Reach out to, obviously you got a badass, the best in the game with thing. But if anything else you need any breakthroughs, as I said, I'm Jamie's one of my closest friends over here in this community, and I just want to whatever I can do to give back to her community. I'm here for you guys.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Of course.
Thank you. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day, and Ammar, we'll talk soon.
Yes. Bye, guys.
All right,
bye. Thank you.